Let's see. Are we live? Let's have a look. Bum, bum, bum. It says we're live, but you never know. Yes, we're live. We'll turn that down. Good. We are live. Glasses back on. I need to put hand cream on. I'm finding all this wiping of hands and with gel and the cold weather that we've got here in the UK is taking its toll on my hands. So time for some hand cream. Hi Baz. Gosh, first to say hello. So my question today is, now that we have the closeout list published for the new mini, or the old mini I should say, the current mini, what are you most going to miss? Thank you for sharing, Baz. You know, I've just put hand cream on and I already feel as if I haven't. Oh well. Coffee. So yes, I want to know what you're going to be most sorry to see go. Hello Renee, hello Nora. Yes, what are you going to see just ordered blends? You mean the single blends from the clearance rack? Question mark? Because there are some single blends on the clearance rack at half price. Just saying. I, on the other hand, have not had a chance to order anything off the close down yet. Let me just get the comments coming up on both screens. Yes, the coming home DSP will be sad. Thank you for sharing, Renee. So yes, you brought single blends. I couldn't believe it when I checked the clearance rack this morning. I'm thinking, really? So yes, obviously they had lots of the single packets left. Hello, Jan from sunny Wheatley. It is sunny for the first time in days. It's been really foggy here for days. Yep, more hand cream required. But it is very chilly this morning. So yesterday I had the joys of having my car serviced because, you know, that's something you want to do just before Christmas. But as my MOT ran out today and I'd forgotten, it was a question of getting it MOT'd as well. So as I haven't had it serviced since, not this May, but last May because of the lockdown. Coming home set. Yeah, I really think that getting rid of the coming home set is a bad idea. It's so useful. And it's not as if I had planned to do my coming home 17th birthday simple stamping Saturday at the weekend. It had actually been planned for the week before, but life got on top of me. So yeah, that was pure fluke. But yes, coming home. The number of amazing discounts, the number of dies you can get at half price. Whoa! I mean, epic. And while I do remember that I'm doing a giveaway in December. I say giveaway, a prize draw. I always do a giveaway. A prize draw for the A Wish for Everything stamp set and dies. Anyone who places an order of over £50 and uses the host code, you'll get entered into this draw. So I will be drawing it at the beginning of January, but it's for December. So if you put a £50 order in, must be one order, as opposed to two £25 orders, because, you know, that's just maths. So yes, if you put in an order of at least £50, and people are doing it, you get a chance to win that bundle. Although it's not a bundle these days. It's worth £75, just saying, actually over £75. Sandbox for its return. We could do, you see, another coming home. We're all going to miss coming home. There was no, it wasn't a member of my team. It was one of my customers who I sent out. I did the videos over the weekend. So I did a Facebook Live over the weekend, walking through the retiring catalogue, the mini catalogue, and going through what's been what's going to go, what's going to come back, when it's going to come back. Went through all that. Did another one that went live on my YouTube channel for yesterday morning. And there was a lady, one of my customers, who put in an order for basically the coming home suite on, it was either Sunday or Monday, can't remember which, because she was so desperate to get it. She wanted to make sure she got it and was quite happy to pay full price. Not least of all because it is the give back stamp set, but she bought paper, she bought the dies, she bought the stamp set. There was something else she bought as well, and I can't remember what it was, but she was just so desperate to get it. And she sent me an email saying, yes, I know I could have got it in the sale, but I wanted it. So, yeah. So if there is anything you want, things are going to sell out really fast. Sorry, I just realised that one of my tripods is weird. So, coming home is not what I'm using today. I'm actually deliberately not using retiring stuff because I wasn't going to know what had gone by the time I was doing this. And I do a little bit of prep in advance. One of the things I'm going to show you is a box that I've made for the spot, because it does use, saying that I'm not using anything that's going. I think they're still around. The Celebration label dies, which are, they're going to fall all over the floor, knowing my luck, these ones. These are going. They are just, I kid you not, £16.50. They are amazing. I am staggered. That was one of the ones I would have put down as staying. The stamp set is reduced as well. That's 30% off for the stamp set. These are UK prices. If you're in other parts of the world, the discounts may not be the same because the discounts are driven to a degree by inventory. But in the UK and Europe, this is 30% off and the dies are half price. So you don't want the bundle. None of the bundles have been discounted. So that actually makes it really easy to work out whether it's better to get the bundle or not. So unless one item in the bundle is at least more than probably 30% off, you may be better off getting the bundle. Particularly if the stamp set is 10% off and the dies aren't reduced, get the bundle. But if, like this, if the stamp set was not reduced and the dies were, so the dies are 50% off, you don't want the bundle, you want the stamp set and the dies. The bundle will become unorderable at the point where either the stamp set or the dies sell out. They are stocked as two separate items. So when you order the bundle, you'll find both items will be on your order as two separate items. And that is why, because they pick these separately. So just bear that in mind, that once one of the items has gone from a bundle, the bundle goes. Okay, so should we get started? Should we craft? Right, so I'm going to start with the box and then I'm going to move on to other things. So, but I wanted to show you how to make the box because it is specifically with those dies. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Going the wrong way. I'm winding cables around screws, which is never a good idea. Right, here we go. May have to do some adjustment. Yes, I've got to do some adjustment. Now, over the Christmas period, I am going to try and get my new setup sorted. Oh, and I need to do the housekeeping. I need to get my new setup sorted so that I can do zooming in and stuff and picture-in-picture and those sorts of things. So, very quickly, housekeeping. This is a Facebook Live. Morning from a cold and frosty Swansea. Good morning, Wendy March. So this is a Facebook Live. You know it's live because in the top left-hand corner there is a live button. It's red. There's something that's in the way and I can't work. Oh, it's just the leg of the. It's the leg of the thing. Tripod. So yes, if you're watching this live, there will be a live banner at the top left-hand corner of this screen. If you're watching it on Facebook on replay, the live will not be there. If you're watching it on YouTube, there will be no live because it is a replay of a Facebook Live that I have downloaded from Facebook and loaded up to YouTube. Remember, if you share the video either on Facebook or on YouTube, you will be entered into a draw for freebie, and this week is epic. Just saying, it's a really good freebie. I've now got a runny nose, so I need a tissue. Oh, and that apparently is the end of my tissue box. This is partly because my studio this morning is freezing. So yes, do share and add the word shared with an ED at the end. Hi, Rose, if you want to be entered into the prize draw. Right, so this box, let me show you. I'll show you the box because it doesn't really give away what the spot challenge is. The spot challenge goes live at 12. So this is the box that I have made. This was the very last piece of that ribbon. I had just enough to do the bow. Anyway, so this is the box using the dies for the lid and then just a box base. The dimensions of the box are 2 inches deep by 4 1/8 by 2 1/2. So yeah, that is the dimension of the box. This is nothing new. I've seen it a few times, but I wanted to just go through it with you. So let me grab my scoring board, and I'm using some of the Snowflake Splendour paper. You know, the one that's misspelt if you're in the UK. This is the back. This is the front, so I want the front facing up. So I'm going to nudge that right into the corner, and I'm going to score basically from either side of these. So let me bring it up because I can't zoom in. So I'm going to score here and here on each of the corners. Now, you can get it straight very easily on this edge because these are flat. So pop it up and push it in. Now, I've come out slightly from the edge because if I were to score here, it's not quite on that corner. So I've come out so that this score line will be on that corner. So very gently, it's only paper, score. Now, obviously, you could make this in card, but I thought it would be nice to have it in paper because then it's patterned. This one, again, you can push it into the side there. And actually, it's not a bad line-up. I'm going to come out a wee bit, just so that I know it is definitely... Ooh, where am I? So if I go there, is that? Which line's that? Just want to make sure I've got it lined up with where I think it should be. Right, so I need it lined up to there. And then we should be good to go. So the idea is you just line it up on the two. Oh, that's the wrong one. You see, I knew that was going to happen. This worked perfectly yesterday when I was doing it not in anger. Right, so let's come out. In fact, let's just do that and that, and then I'm coming down the same line again, and I don't want to be down that line. I want to be down that line. You know, I'm going to start this side just so I've got a nice clean line. So if that's on 1 inch, the top's on 1 inch. It's actually not this complicated. I'm just making it complicated. That's it. You missed me saying exactly the same thing, Wendy. So that's about 1 inch. So therefore this will also be just about 1 inch. So I'm going to come down my inch line. I know my top is lined up with 1 inch. If I get my bottom lined up with 1 inch, if you'll pardon the expression, then that's that one. And then we just need this one, which is much easier because it's got the square on the top. I was absolutely stunned that these aren't carrying over. because they don't go with the set. I mean, they go with the stamp set, but they aren't. It's like the Halloween dies from last year, the ornate frames. Those I predicted would carry over, and guess what? They did. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't get it. I do not get it. So all I'm doing is just folding and burnishing. I don't know why I've put the scoreboard away, because I still need it. So my card is just under 6.5, and I mean literally just under 6.5 by just under 8 1/8. So yes, I'm going to score at 2 inches on each side. So 2 inches at each side, and by taking it just under the 8 1/8, it means that you've got the right dimension for this bit without having to fiddle around with silly scoring lines. So who's put up their Christmas tree so far? Anyone put up their Christmas tree so far? Right, I'm going to cut into this corner square. Oh no, I'm actually going to cut into it this way. Let's make my mind up. So I'm cutting into the short rectangle and leaving the score line on the square. And then I'm just going to clip that score line away so that we've got a very, very fine edge. So Rose hasn't put hers up. Baz has had hers up a week. Nora's got hers up. Ours is going up either the weekend before Christmas or Christmas Eve, which is when we always put it up. And I know that people are putting them up early because of the lockdown and wanting to get festive early. But as I think I said last week, it was my father's 90th birthday last Tuesday. And actually, he has got his Christmas tree up. I would hasten to add, steaming the Christmas puddings today. Yeah, we're buying ours this year. Sorry. My father has actually got his Christmas tree up. It is only about a foot high, I hasten to add. But he has got it up. But yes, so we went down and saw him because he's bubbled with us, or we're bubbled with him, depending on how you look at it. We were able to go down and see him on his 90th birthday. And we took afternoon tea, and it was amazing. Cards are nearly done, tags finished. Yeah, I'm still making my Christmas cards because we've got about 90 that we need for my husband and I, for friends and rellies. Then I've got cards that I need to send out to my team, cards I need to send out to my customers. So quite a lot going on. Ooh, on the subject of which, a couple of things while I remember. It's not a guaranteed date, but the last recommended date for ordering before Christmas, if you are in Europe, I think actually this is for North America as well, is today for Christmas. Or is it tomorrow? Anyway, it's imminent. What I would say is get your order in if you want it before Christmas. Right, so I have trimmed down these squares because if they weren't trimmed down, they would overlap here. Nasty, ugly, not pretty. So I've got my Seal Plus, which may or may not last till the end of this video recording. Facebook Live. It's not a recording, it's a real thing. And I'm just going to run that along the edge here. So Jan has started to put her Christmas decks up. Yeah, I mean, we are going to go and buy our Christmas tree. Sorry, it's just pulling up the card. It does occasionally, particularly if you haven't cut your card very neatly. We're going to get our Christmas tree probably this week because with everybody buying their Christmas trees early, we do still want to get a Christmas tree, and we like a real Christmas tree in our sitting room. So yes, I'm just lining up the cut edge against the fold line. Standard box, really. Now, if, like here, they're not quite, can you see? Possibly not. They're not quite lined up. Just pull this one and push the other side down, and, you know, it kind of works. So, yes, we will be getting our Christmas tree probably this week, but it will then live in the garage until nearer the day. I have got my window lights up, by which I mean my candles, my window candles. So that's our basic box. And then this, all I'm going to do is cut into these bits here, and I'm going to just cut up the score line on this is the slightly longer of the two edges, so this is longer than this. I'm doing this side because it's slightly easier to see the score line, and then I'm just going to very slightly snip those out, tiny little hair's breadth of a wedge. So can you see, it's, you can almost not see it, it's so small. But yes, we kind of get that people want to do Christmas earlier because it's all a bit depressing, but we're holding off. Apart from anything else, we get a real Christmas tree, and therefore it will drop its needles the longer we have it indoors. But of course, in the UK, woo, it's V-Day. So for those of you who don't know what I mean, which probably means you're not in the UK, today is the day when our first vaccinations are taking place. They are in hospital because the vaccine that we have got first is one of the ones that has to be stored at minus 70 degrees until, I think it's 5 days, maybe 5 hours, before it's administered. And you have to have 2 doses. So they're starting with people who can get into hospital. I'm waiting to hear when my father might get his, because we're starting with those that are most vulnerable, which includes the over 80s and those on the really vulnerable list, which my father is. So this, you just line up the cut edge against the fold, and because it's liquid, just hold it there for a moment. But it does give you that sliding ability. So yes, he should be fairly high up the list on the priorities. I think he should be in the first group, so we're waiting to hear. I'm in group 7, I think, and my husband is in group 5 or 6, can't remember which. So he's likely to get his very early part of next year, and I think I'll probably be late spring, early summer. And who knows which vaccine I'll get. So, if I've done my maths correctly, she says with her fingers crossed, yes! There we go. Really nice, snug little box. I used Misty Moonlight because it's one of the colours in the paper. And then I've got the iridescent, what do we call this? Snowflake Splendour iridescent ribbon. Just to, I might just do a bow. Just a single bow. I did a single bow with the other one, but that was mostly because it was very fat. I might go both ways. I might do that. Although I'm then going to get all hung up with getting it absolutely central, of course. How much ribbon have I got left? Quite a lot. So, feed that through. This is not the easiest ribbon to handle. It's quite stiff, but it's pretty. So yes, so it's all steam ahead with V for vaccines in the UK now. I think we're the first country to have licensed one of the vaccines. I know there was all sorts of stuff going around on social media about, is it safe? The licensing authority in the UK is one of the most highly regarded medical licensing entities in the world, so I think we're okay. You're all being very quiet. Very quiet. Makes me sad when you're quiet. As I fiddle with this ribbon. See, I told you I was going to end up fiddling with it. Right. Let's do my bow, trim the ends, and then I can fiddle with it later before I do the photos. Right. Hello, Deborah and Clark. Right, so there we are. Just doing your hair after your shower. Fair enough. I decided to not wash my hair this morning in the shower. Busy watching me. Fair enough. Anyway, so there is the box using those half-price dies. So don't just think of them as dies, is all I'm saying. You will be seeing more of the dies later because the spot challenge uses the dies. Right, I'm going to have to put my heater on because it's cold. Yep, heater is now on, so I'm now going to get a burnt left leg. Okay, so what I had actually planned to do today was to use the Snowman Seasons. This is in the annual catalogue. I think we often forget that we've got Christmas stuff in the annual catalogue. This was in last year's mini, but it's now in the annual catalogue. So it comes with a punch, which is the Snow Builder punch, not bundled because it's a carryover. But this does this chap, arms, hat, nose. Now I think this is the one, yes, I have actually lost one of my stamps. No idea where it is. I did take it to team training in February last year, so it may be that it never quite got back from there. But it's fine. I can live without because I don't actually stamp and then punch. I just stamp, and frankly the arms are basically the same. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my heater to rotate so that it doesn't actually just blast my left leg. So you can see it's very well loved. I'm going to do some with the punch and some without. I'm going to start without the punch. So I am going to, can't decide whether I'm going to fussy cut or not, which I think I might fussy cut. Except they're not really eminently easy to fussy cut, are they? Oh, I don't know. I don't know, actually. Oh, was it earlier this year? You're right, Baz. I'm just writing off this year as doing any face-to-face stuff. So I think you're right. I think it was earlier this year. Anyway, wherever it is, it's if you're going to lose a stamp, it's not exactly the worst one to lose. Just saying. Right, okay, so I'm actually going to marry these with the Snowflake Splendour paper and also where is it? There it is. The Balmy Blue glimmer paper, which is going and not coming back. The red velvet ribbon is going, but is coming back next year, which is just as well, because I seem to have over-ordered and I've got about 5 packs. So, yes, I was doing loads of cards for the WI and the Flower Club, and I used the Poinsettia Place for both of them, mostly because I was lazy and having done one design, I was just going to go with it. And Um, I overdid the amount of red velvet I would need for all the poinsettias on one of the projects. So, yeah. So I have got Pool Party and Balmy Blue blends because those are in the paper. I might actually just grab Smoky Slate. And one of the most important blends is the Colour Lifter. And when you see my project for the spot, the card that I've done, you'll realise why I say this is one of the most important things. And I don't mean for clearing up your boo-boos. I think just generally really useful. Anyway, so I'm using the blues in preference to the greys, but I will be using the greys as well. Now, I am going to fussy cut this, so I'm going to fussy cut it first. And guess what? I'm not fussy cutting these. So, fussy cutting 101. I start by cutting it down. And I am going to keep, am I going to keep, no, actually I'm just going to do the snowman. Because I've just decided what I'm doing. So I will get this as high up as I can whilst still being able to do what I want to do. So you will see that I am turning the paper, not my scissors. And yes, I have got my scissors at an odd angle, that's just me. I mean, by odd, I've got them very flat to the paper. It's just how I do it. Doesn't make a blind bit of difference, it's just how I do it. Ooh, I need pumpkin pie as well, don't I? Because a snowman has got to have a carrot nose. But really easy to do. Oh, and yeah, if you saw my Simple Stamping Saturday, I was doing the car from coming home. And I got into my head that there wasn't a car die. There is a car die, but I had in my head that there wasn't. So I was fussy cutting all my cars, which was fine. But as someone pointed out when I said, "Of course, there's no die," someone quite rightly pointed out on my channel that there is a die. I had just forgotten that there was a die. Right, I'm going to ignore the ground that he's standing on, as in I'm not going to cut round the ground. And then I just want to make sure I don't end up with a sharp edge. And there is my little chap, all fussy cut. Now I need a punch. Ooh, which one should I? Ooh, I don't think that's going to be quite. Oh, it might be. I'm trying to do more punches and less die cutting. That's the 2-inch. And this is the 1.5. Ooh, actually that... Oh, I like that. Right. Okay. I know what I'm doing now. See, made this one up. So, there is stamping on that side, but actually it might fit in there. Like pants. Oh, yes, there is. Yes, like pantomimes, you mean. As opposed to pants. Like panto, I think you mean. But yes, there are dies for the car, or there is a die for the car in the coming home dies. Just not if you're me. Right, so I'm just going to stamp that in that little space there. And then I'm going to come in with my 1.5-inch circle punch and punch that out. And I'm not worried that I've cut off some of the snowballs. Doesn't bother me at all. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is take my blend. I'm actually going to grab this as a piece of scrap. And I'm going to colour anything that is white that isn't Snowman. So basically, I'm going to colour around the outside of my fussy cutting. Or I'm going to colour panto. Yes, not like pants. Oh, yes, there are pants. And there is method in my madness. And this card is probably going to go through as a large letter. Just saying. If you're in the UK, this, by the time I've finished with it, is probably going to be large letter. There we are. I don't know if you can see, but I've got this little grey outline. It'll be easier to see later when I've finished, I think. Okay, so let's pop that to one side. I'm also going to go around the outside of my stamped image with the light bullet end of my smoky slate. Now the reason I'm doing this is it does help to make everything pop, and it also helps to hide any fussy cutting boo-boos. So if you've got a really nice edge on most of it and then you went a bit too tight or too fat on another bit, this helps to cover that up. Or hide it, disguise it, I think is the word I'm looking for. So there we are, and just to make sure that everything is the same, I'm going round my snowballs as well. Right, pumpkin pie. Oh, that's pumpkin pie. Dark pumpkin pie. Now I'm only going to colour my fussy cut image. There's no point in colouring that really. So I think the ice is more blue than grey. So I'm going to go light balmy blue. Let me just see how light balmy blue is going to go. Yeah. So wherever there is shading, I'm going to go light balmy blue. And then I'm going to bring it out a little bit more. So there's shading on the stamp here. So I'm bringing it out. Shading on this on his foot. And then there would also be a shadow here. Probably be a shadow here. And I'm saying the light's coming from here, which is where it appears to be coming from. So I'm going to add shadow there, there, there. He's got shadows for his cheeks, and there'd be a bit of a shadow on his nose and a bit of a shadow there. So let me bring that up so that you can hopefully see it a little bit better. I don't know if you can actually, it's such a pale colour. But there will be close-ups on my website tomorrow. Then I'm going to take the colour lifter and I'm going to just go around the outside of those lines, because what that will do is help the colour bleed out into the rest of the card, or onto the rest of the card. And if it's not doing what you want it to do, just do a little circular motion and that will help push it out. Now I can see that that actually has made quite a difference. So there's no harsh line. I think you're unlikely to be able to see it, but as I say, I will do close-ups on my website. So I need dimensionals of both sizes, would be nice. I seem to have black dimensionals coming out of my ears. Black, mini, right, new packet. Am I the only one that's getting through packets of these? See you later then, Baz. Thank you for joining me. I cannot tell you how many packets of these I'm getting through at the moment. It's all these Christmas cards. So, I'm going to add just 2 dimensionals, I think. Oh, actually, I think what I'm going to do is 1 at the top and then 1 on each leg Oh, my legs are getting nice and toasty now because I've got my heater blasting on them. So has anyone got this stamp set bundle? Or is it just me? So there is our little chappy, dimensionaled. And I'm going to grab some balmy blue. Balmy blue. There we go. And my 2-inch circle punch. Have a good night, Rose. Jan has it. I thought I remembered you had it. Right, so there is our balmy blue, and I'm going to pop that on there, but I'm going to pop it on with dimensionals, which is why I say this is no longer a normal letter. This is a large letter because it's now fat. And I'm not being fattest, it's just popped up too much. Now, I have seen a number of people, and this is worth thinking about, it won't work for this because this is too small. If you're doing lots of layers of dimensionals, actually, I'm going to go off center. If you're doing lots of layers of dimensionals, make sure you don't have them underneath each other, because then when it goes through the slot for the post, it may be that they'll squash between each other. Anyway, so I put that off center because to try and line something up centrally is very difficult. Off center, easy. Right, so let me grab some paper, and I'm going to go for that paper because I think that will work quite nicely, and a trimmer. Don't need that for the moment. So how big is that? That's annoying. Actually, no, that will work. That will work. Right, so I'm going to cut this at 3.5. There. And this should be 5.25. Pretty close. I'm not going to bother trimming that because that will actually fuzzy the edge of the paper. So we've got our snowman and our paper. And I'm going to go, I think that's Pacific Point. So let me grab Pacific Point. Yes, Pacific Point. So that and that, we're going to add some ribbon because why wouldn't we? So we'll have some ribbon, and then we also need a sentiment. Now this has sentiment, so it's got Let It Snow, Hoping the Season Brings Heartwarming Memories, and Merry Christmas. The images on the front of the box are full size, so I'm going to grab my ruler and see. Okay, so it's going to be, I've either got to go hard, right. I think that's going to be 3/4 of an inch. Just back from the shops. Woohoo! Hello, bee. Right, so I'm going to have, I think that might be too big actually. I think I might go Let It Snow, because I think the other one's going to be too overpowering. That's not to say that this won't be. No, don't like it. In fact, what I'm going to do is grab one of my favourite stamp sets for Christmas, which I didn't even get until this year, and it was in last year's Christmas mini catalogue. This one, which is the Itty Bitty Christmas. It's just gorgeous. So I think I am going to do Very Merry. So yes, just Very Merry, which is bang slap in the middle. Am I the only one that wishes they'd have the stamps in the same place here as they are here? Or is that just me? so we're going to go very merry, and we're going to grab, ooh, I wonder if that will fit. Will it fit on there? It will if I can get it to. Right, Pacific Point ink. I may regret this, but I'm going to pull my sleeves up because Aran coloured wool and Pacific Point is not a good mix. Now the reason I was doing all this is because the label is not exactly in the same place as the stamp, so I wanted to judge how out the label and the stamp were, and I got it okay. So that's good. Right, okay. This I think is going to be too wide for my banner pick-a-punch punch. Yeah. I could force it through, as in, you know, just gauge it, but instead I'm going to use my tailored tag punch, and no, I don't want it that way, I want it that way, don't I? And I'm going to flag at the end, so that's where that is. Now you could use the triple banner punch instead, but the tailored tag is quite useful for that. I say you could. Do we still have the... Yes, we do. Phew! I was wondering if we still had the triple banner punch for them for a moment. Okay, so there's my very merry. So that's going to go there. I'm going to have that coming off the side, and then I'm going to have the ribbon coming here. So I'm going to chop there. Thank you for sharing, Bee. Right, okay, so let's get this going. I don't always or often use liquid glue on paper, but hey, let's be brave. Ooh, I think I want that. Why have I just done that? Sorry, I will explain what I'm just... So, why would I turn my card over or round just so that I could get a corner in a specific place? Because until you've put anything on it that's directional, it doesn't matter. Good Lord. Right, so that's going to go there. That's going to go there. Then my ribbon's going to go there. And what I want is the right colour. Ooh, no. I'm going to get Pool Party for my card base, which I seem to have rather a lot of, actually. Don't know why I've got so much Pool Party, but I have. Right, so score once, cut once. So I'm going to score. I like my cards, as you may know, folded at the top because they're easier to photograph. So one score there, and 10.5. So one score, one cut gets you 2 bases, as opposed to 2 scores, 1 cut. So fold that in half, grab my bone folder, and I'm also going to grab a piece of Whisper White, because I am going to put a liner in. Whoa! She's putting a liner in! Such a thing never happened. What I'm going to put in is some snowballs, just to tie the snowballs that he is using with the snowballs inside. So let me grab, if you could see the state of my desk, I really must do a tidy up. There is, I mean, it's dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Pool Party. So to tie the Pool Party in, I'm going to use Pool Party for the snowballs. In fact, I may do a mix. Actually, I'll do I'm going to also grab Barney Blue. Barney Blue. Probably don't need to clean it, but just in case. Thank you for sharing, Nora. How's your craft room coming on? Aren't you doing a new craft room? Or have I misremembered? There we go. So Barney Blue and Pool Party. Pop that there. Right, so let's... First thing I need to do is to get the ribbon round. Seal Plus. I like to either use Seal Plus or double-sided tape for ribbon. Don't actually mind too much which one. And then line it up with your grid paper. And you know that it's going to be straight. Like that. I'm going to pop this onto my card now because I've now got sticky. Oh, now, anyone who ordered from me last month, November, the deliveries from Germany at the moment are taking a while. Oh, which reminds me, oh, I've already mentioned that, haven't I, last delivery dates. So the parcel with the customer gifts was meant to be delivered initially, when was it? Yes, initially yesterday. I had a phone call from a driver who's working for UPS but isn't a UPS driver, if you get my meaning. And he was lost, so I asked him where he was, and he told me where he was. Well, he wasn't, just saying. So he told me that he was at wherever in Fieldside. We're in Fieldside. And it transpired that he was actually not in Long Whitnam at all, but in Abingdon, which is a town near us, and our address technically is Long Whitnam, Abingdon. I didn't actually realise that there is a Fieldside in Abingdon, but there is. So what he failed to tell me is that he was in Fieldside, Abingdon. So I gave him the directions from the other end of Fieldside in Long Whitnam to our house. No. However, that's not where he was. The penny then dropped that he might not actually be where I thought he was, mostly because half an hour later he still hadn't arrived. So hopefully, long story short, hopefully my customer gifts will arrive today. Who knows? But everything that needs to go with them is done. So the cards are ready, the gifts ready, all that stuff. I just haven't got the product to go with it. So, sorry. I will get them out as soon as I can. I'm looking for Snowflake. Also reduced, let it be said. So if you want snowflakes, adhesive snowflakes. Hello, Louise. It's a sunny day for a change in the South Oxfordshire area. Louise lives in Didcot, which is not far from where I live. Still waiting for your delivery. It's not turned up yet. Supposed to be this morning. Well, yeah, as I say, mine was supposed to be yesterday, and they ended up in Abingdon as opposed to Long Whitnam. So I did ring them to try and, you know, get them here. And they seem to be having a party in the van. There were all sorts of voices, which was slightly annoying because I kept trying to explain where I was and kept hearing multiple voices in the background. So anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. And of course, oh, my pre-order is due to arrive on tomorrow. Yes, with my new mini cutter. Oh, and on the subject of which, so A, you can put your mini cutter in your starter kit, but B, if you are not currently a Stampin' Up demo, this is the perfect time to join, because you can put even more stuff in your starter kit. Because if you get stuff from, no, it hasn't arrived yet. If you get stuff from the clearance rack or closeout sale, if everything you got was at least 50% off, you would end up with £260 worth of product, catalogue price, for just £99, including postage. Anyway, so there is my first card, using lots of retiring stuff and some things that aren't. So there we are. That's that one. Right, let's do another quick card. Let's do one with the punch out. Drippy nose again. Right, so I need another piece of paper. And let's swap out one stamp for another. Your order from last Tuesday has been delivered Thursday. Wasn't a large order. The large order the Tuesday before took 3 days to arrive. Yeah, they're kind of behind at the moment. They've suddenly gone behind, and I'm not quite sure why. Yes, it's in the annual catalogue, Louise. It carried over from last year into the annual. No sunshine for you, B. Well, we've had fog for about the last 4 days, and we've finally got sunshine. Right, where's my... Okay, who's nicked me punch? Oh, there it is. It's all right, I found it again. Going to need to ink this up again, mind you. Right, so there's our snowman. Now, this is where you kind of need to look at your punch. So that's going to punch everything out. So what I'm going to do is take my snips and snip away. Now, there is I'll come on to a cheats way of doing this. It is a lovely set to have for Christmas, and I thought because of the closeout sale and because this is going to go onto YouTube, by the time it goes onto YouTube, who knows what's still going to be in available. I'm going to keep that. See you later, Louise. So yes, because this will go live in YouTube, or not live, but it will be posted in YouTube tomorrow, you just don't know what's going to be available. So I thought it was safer to use something from the annual catalogue rather than something in the closeout sale. And also things will sell out at different rates depending on where you are in the world, and quite a lot of my followers are not UK, so it would be unfair really to use stuff from the clear out. Right, so now his arms I'm going to just punch out of card, because life is too short to try and line them up having stamped them, and I know that's lazy, but that's just the way I rock and roll. Right, so that's that. Clear that. Well, that's the problem, you see, Carol. Some items will just go. So I know quite a few people put things into their basket hoping, so yesterday when they had time, in the hope that they could just check out when the clear out sale went live, and some things have gone. I know some people were on the store at, silly o'clock last night. Right, just going to get some early espresso. Actually, no, I'm going to get basic black and pumpkin pie. So, pumpkin pie. I just need the teeniest bit, so that will be perfect. So, here's the thing. So, the well-wrapped, or whatever they're called, dies are carrying over, as are the mini coffee cups. Press on isn't. Just crying. The carriers are going. The coffee cup carriers are going, but the cups are staying, as are the dies to go round them. But the embossing folders that go with the heartwarming hugs suite are going. Not only are they going, they are half price. So this is why I keep all my little bits, because they are perfect. Will I get both out? No. They are perfect for things like this. Yeah, the closeout, the 1 day sale, the orders were really good. They came through really quickly, but it's just gone mad. I think this last weekend people have been ordering stuff online, which means that all the courier companies are really busy. So yeah. Let's pop those away. Right, now I was going to show you a tip. I will be colouring those. So if you want to do this all in one go and you want to use the stamps and you've got all the stamps, unlike me who's lost one, you can just find yourself a piece of scrap paper, punch everything out, and then you can line everything up just on another piece of paper. So let me grab another piece of paper and I will show you what I mean. So you can either do this on your Stamparatus, or, and obviously it's easier if you're not using white on white. So let me grab something that isn't white. Bear with me. Call Me Clover is about as far away from white as you can get. So punch your template. Oh, yes, I gather there were fun and games last night, Wendy, with the... Well, let's start with... I'll make sure I keep that. Let's start with... the biggest fun and games was yesterday early evening. The the customer online store wasn't working at all. If you logged into it, you got an error message, which didn't exactly fill me with confidence. But hey, right, so let me grab this. Just now here in the last minutes, good morning. Oh, hello Candy. Well, you say it's the last minutes. Who knows? It will be the last few minutes because it is now 12 o'clock. So this will be my last card. Assuming I can ever get this off. Right, that's rubbish. So, I'm just going to put a hinge on. Right, so what I'm going to show you is... So, we now have this template for the punch. So that's that. Let me grab the hat. And then you do the arms and what have you as well. But it then means that you can... Buried it again. Oh, I put it away, that's why. Good grief. See, you should never, ever tidy up during a Facebook Live. So particularly if you punch it near enough to the base, you can then just come in, having done all your stamping, and just punch all in one go. So always worth remembering of that. And then you can keep your template, or do what I'm going to do, which is throw it away. Because, you know, why not? Right, okay, so let us finish this card. We've hardly started it yet, but let's finish it. So the only extras that I need are red, green, and black. So black, red, green. Poppy Parade, Granny Apple Green, black, light and dark. And I'm actually going to use the light. I really have an issue with the fact, oops, wrong end. I have a real issue with the fact that we have light and dark black. Oh, Candy, you are such a star. I will keep that secret until it arrives, but thank you. So yes, this is light black. And as I say, I do have a bit of an issue with light black and dark black. But it's okay. So 3 holly berries. And is that dark? Yes. The holly leaves are completely the wrong colour, but you know, I can live with that. And then I'm just going to have a striped band on his hat. I'm not going in for masses of shading on his hat. It's too cartoony, really, to warrant it. But that's his hat. And then I'm going to do very similar colouring on his body to what I did before. So again, actually I might go pool party this time, purely to show you the difference between, well, in the photos it will show you the difference between if you do pool party shading versus balmy blue shading. So my shadows are coming this way. I might actually put some around his eyes as well. Actually, I want that a bit wider. This is very unkind of me because you're not going to be able to see it, but it is coloured. And then I'm going to come in with my colour remover again and just blend that out. And as I say, you're not going to see it on camera. Even if I was using my normal camera, this is one for close-ups. But just using your colour lifter helps to just blend that out so that it becomes a smoother line and less definition on the line. Right, so now I have an issue with his hat having white around it, certainly at the bottom. That hasn't punched terribly well. There we go. It was like an irregular verb got thrown in at red. So we did well until we got to dark. Yeah. Light red is pink. You're absolutely right. But light black, I'm sorry. Seriously. So I always trim the bottom of my hat off, because otherwise you've got this great white glob on his head, which is just so unattractive. Oops, far too much ink, glue rather. Excuse me while I get rid of some of that. That came with a whoosh. Don't need anything like that much. Probably still got too much on there. You can actually stick the hat on with dimensional at the back. So I will go over the back of that dimension of that hat with a single large dimensional, because that holds body and soul together quite nicely. So there's our hat. I'm never quite sure about his nose. I think that looks odd. I'm going to go for the pumpkin pie again. And then I just need to stick his arms on, which I can do using the little bit of glue that is there. I'm never quite sure whether they should come from behind or not. Let's go there. And there. Yes, grey, absolutely, Candy. Light black is grey. Funny that. Okay, so let's pop him onto a card base, or rather via some paper onto a card base. Let's use that, then it will go with the box. So, and then we will do things like prize draws, which have already gone live, but yeah, no, 5.5, 3 3/4. Yep, 5.5 by 3 3/4, and hopefully I have, yes I have, marvellous, Misty Moonlight base, and then we'll pop the whole thing onto a pool party. Oh, that's not half, that's a quarter sheet, not a thing, so I need to cut that down. So this will be 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, just for a change. That's better. Right. So let's actually, we'll grab the glue that seems to be running away. This is absolutely one of the prettiest papers, and of course is in the sale. So the Snowflakes, the stamp set and dies, are coming back, I think. I think I'm right in remembering. My catalogue is currently buried. Or they're going into the annual. Now, anything that is rolling over to the annual catalogue will be available from now until the annual catalogue retires in 2022. Anything that is going to go on a holiday and come back will retire at the 4th of January and will then go on a little holiday, winter break, well, summer break, and will then come back at the beginning of next year's, well, it will be July to December, I think, catalogue. So we'll have him there, and then I am going to grab, not my Snowflakes, but my, whatever these are called, and I'm going to use the frosted ones. These are frosted and clear epoxy drops, I think, but I'm going to use the frosted ones as snivels. So yeah, and then we will do the spot and the draw. got to have an odd number. So there is that one. Let's clear the decks a bit. So the spot, we've seen the box already, which is this. So the spot, hello Barbara, the spot challenge this week is holiday throwdown. Not a phrase I know, but apparently it's over the top Christmas. So I have made this card using the Celebration Labels dies and the Don't Stop Believing stamp, which this fits perfectly into one of those dies. So I think this is the second from smallest, the next one up. This is the 'Tis the Season paper, which is in the closeout. Then we've got the Shaded Spruce ribbon, and it's on a cherry cobbler base. This is cherry cobbler blends. Now, I said earlier that if you get blends, you should always, always, always get this. It's the most important blend you can have. I put a lot of smoky slate into his beard and then went over it with the fat end of the blend, the colour lifter, because it then blends everything so it becomes a soft grey rather than a splodgy, obvious lines grey. Again, this is clearer on the pictures, which are already up on my website, she says, hopefully. So that's my spot challenge. So it's over the top Christmas. Now, bearing in mind, you know, we're all doing Christmas cards and stuff. Please, please, please enter. We'd love to see your stuff. So we then today made a Snowflake Splendour version of the same box using the dies again for the lid. We also made 2 cards using the Snowman season. So this was the first one we did. So we fussy cut our snowman and then used lots of the adhesive backed snowflakes, which are in the closeout. Balmy blue glimmer paper in the which is in the closeout. Snowflake Splendour paper in the closeout. Ribbon in the closeout. And then we've just finished this one, which is kind of cute. I may put a little sentiment tucked in under there just to finish that off a bit more. But there we go. So, prizes. So that's today. Do remember that if you're in the UK and you shop with me in December and you spend at least £50 in one order and use the host code, you will be entered to win the A Wish for Everything and Word Wishes bundle, which is worth over £75. So that's that draw. The prize for 2 weeks ago was the Thoughtful Blooms, which was in last year's celebration. So this, and it goes with the mini flower punch. And the winner, who is, I think, still with us, is Renee. Now, Renee, I know that you are not in the UK. So if you would like to tell me which of my tutorials other than the mega bundles you would like in its place, then that I can get that off to you. Make sure I've got your email address. Thank you, Candy, for sharing. And again, for those of you who are in the UK who share the video either from Facebook or from YouTube, the prize for 2 weeks' time is the mini paper cutter. So it's the one that was in the joining offer last celebration. Is only available to demonstrators, but I have a spare. Oh, good, Renee, I'm glad you're here. So if you can drop me either an email or a Facebook message and let me know which tutorial bundle you would like. And if you're doing a message, could you just remind me of your email address? I'm sure I've got it, but if you could remind me, that would be great. So this is new in box for this week, so I'll be drawing that in 2 weeks' time. Now, 2 weeks' time will be, let's see, 8th. I think it will be the last one before Christmas. Let me just, 1, 2. Yes, so it'll be the 22nd My father is here to stay, but I will still be here. So that will be the 22nd, which was why I thought I would do a really special prize, because it's effectively the Christmas prize. I will not be able to get it out if it is won by someone in the UK, probably until the new year, but just so that you know. Ooh. Okay. So, yes. That is the prize for this week. Okay, so thank you very much indeed. I will be uploading this to YouTube. Thank you for joining me today. It's been a small number of you, but hey, small numbers but equal perfection. So do remember, if you share on both Facebook and YouTube, you get 2 entries. So twice the chance of winning. Thank you very much indeed. Enjoy the closeout. I'll go and see if there are any single blends left. Probably not. And I will see you again very soon. Okay, bye-bye. I will now spend, hopefully not too long, ending the video.